Good morning, everybody. I'm James Coates, in for Henry today. We're starting off at 50 degrees here at WCLU. Good Morning Live. I think it all started for me as a child, 5-6 years old, when my dad was really into CB radios, and he would talk on those things, he and my mother. When I get home from school and Dad would get home from work, they would talk on the CB radio. And I was just amazed at how you could sit in your living room and broadcast your voice to the next county or the next state, and some, if you had the right antenna. And that just, I've always had an interest. I even got involved in that myself as a child, just the fascination of being able to talk to other people. Of course, the phone, but that's a line. This was like cordless, wireless. And so that really always held my interest as a kid.
Finding his love for radio started as a boy in Sweden, a small town in Edmonson County, Kentucky. James Coates spent his childhood playing with radios and pretending to be a DJ, but he never knew that would someday become his career.
I would say by the age of 9 or 10, I had an interest in broadcasting, from the CB experience as a child. But I would set up 2 tape decks when I was like 11 years old and play DJ in between the songs and talk. But I never really thought about the future, like this is what I'm going to do someday.
But getting into radio started much sooner than that. When he was a teenager, to be exact, listening to WBVR, James loved the late Scooter Davis.
I had the opportunity to meet him a time or two as a teenager, and I was just like, Scooter Davis, that's the Scooter Davis. And I remember one time I called the radio station to request a song, and he started asking me questions about the weather and the little town I'm from, Brownsville. And I had the funny feeling that he was recording my voice, and sure enough, in about 5 minutes, it came across the air. And there I was on the air with Scooter Davis, and I can't tell you how starstruck I was. And I wanted then, I really had an interest then. That's really what I'd like to do. I never thought it would happen for some odd reason. I just never really thought it would happen. But when I would have to say Scooter Davis was the main inspiration.
Trekking just north of Edmonson County, James was attending a church in Breckenridge County. It was 1988, and he was approached about working at WBFI Radio, a 5,000-watt Southern gospel radio station in McDaniels, Kentucky. The
pastor of the church, who has recently passed away, but we got to be pretty good friends, and he approached me one night after service and asked me, "How would you like to work at the radio station?" And I thought he meant cleaning or, straightening up records. But he said, I said, "I'd love it. What do you want me to do? Clean up, vacuum?" He said, "No, on the air." And I immediately said, "I can't do that." And he said, "Well, of course you can't. We'll train you and get your license."
His career took flight. He worked with WBFI for the next 17 years, working as music director and station manager for a short time. James continues to air a Southern gospel program on WBFI that he started there in 1993. James now continues work for Willie Country and hosts WCLU Radio's morning drive time show, Good Morning Live. Looking back, James says his plan was never built around radio, but perhaps God's plan was different.
I had a desire in me, like I said, as a child, but I never really thought of pursuing it or that it would actually happen. It just kind of unfolded. That's probably God's plan for my life. But don't give up on your dreams and be watchful for things that you might not even consider. It could chase you down,
He's built a career over the last 31 years and continues to be on the air. He has 4 children and now a grandchild. James says his family and his wife Rose have played a large role in who he is today.
But she came underneath me and said, "You can do this. James Coates, you shape up. You can do this. You can do this, and you'll enjoy it again." And she was right.
This is James Howard Coates. And this has been Meet My Neighbor.